So this is Dwight. You took this picture, right, Dwight?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it actually yesterday and today.
One of my favorite photos from the book, right? We made a decision for the book to go black and white. Every image in the book is black and white. This book is not going to be solely black and white. We'll have some color photography in it. But for this image, Dwight, I don't know to this day. They're passing a joint? Is that right? Tell me how this photo developed and what you were doing when you took it.
Yeah, I'd been following the protest around as we got moved by the police, and a group of people just decided to just sit down and not take any more being pushed around. They weren't being violent or anything, but I just thought it would be cool to get a backlit shot of the cops and just some people being peaceful. There were some skirmishes, but not necessarily in this location. But I just thought it'd be a cool shot of a peaceful moment per se.
I thought it was a really cool shot as well.
It could have been a joint. I don't recall smelling anything. But
and I guess
we could add that to the story.
That was right when the decriminalization had just taken effect or hadn't taken. I don't know. Not that it matters. Lisa Walker, I saw you in attendance. This is one of my also favorite photos from the book. And it's sometimes it's hard to get these crowd shots and actually make them of something besides a crowd. But there's so many elements in here that I like. Tell us about this photo and how it came about.
Well, that Women's March, like you were saying, having that the day after, it was really pretty spectacular, and I really enjoyed. I managed to just get a good spot kind of at the end. I'm pretty sure this is on Mass Ave, kind of up a little bit, and the crowd was just, I mean, massive amounts of people, coming towards you. But fortunately, in this situation, it was very peaceful. And, there wasn't any fear. I didn't have any concern about, tear gas or, something violent happening, which was a huge relief. So just had a really good angle kind of from above, and just kind of had to wait and see, what there was all these crazy signs, which were really kind of funny. I mean, it was, so I just kind of got a real, and of course the Capitol being in the background down there, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's the first time I've ever really been in a crowd that large photographing for myself. So I know many of you have. So, and I hate to say this, I haven't really been, by the way, down in DC that much. I've been staying with my mom up in New Jersey during a good part of this whole COVID scenario. So, and I've just been a little afraid because she's elderly that I have been a little nervous about kind of going down into some of those protests, like you said, with unmasked people. So I've been up here a little bit more, but I've been craving getting out there, and I'm hoping, for as we get a little closer to inauguration, I definitely want to be participating, and I might be doing kind of what I think it was Ben or someone saying, I might be trying to go into those neighborhoods a little bit more to get a feel and a vibe of what's happening in the city. And this was obviously, this is just people came from all over the world. It was massive, and it was spectacular.
It was a sight. I mean, I've been in a lot of these things in DC, and that was as many people as I've ever seen.
That's the biggest I've ever seen too.
Yeah.
If I don't mind butting in on this, I ran into Roy Lewis at the Women's March, and Roy's about 15 years older than I am, and his first demonstrations were photographing the King March back in '63, and we both had been at moratoriums in Vietnam War. We stood up, we're up on a high point, we both looked, I said, Roy, you ever seen anything bigger than this? And we both started going to mode in '69, and then we both know this is bigger than anything we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really something. I mean, it's just so many great pictures here.
Maurice, this is your image, and I was actually standing close to you when this happened. This is, I think, over by like Ellen 12. And this is just about 10 to maybe 20 minutes before all hell broke loose. Tell us about this shot, because there's just such malevolence here with this, I think it's a woman being pushed. What caused that to happen, and how did you get shot?
It was actually a young man. I don't know if you can see like the yellow tape around the close to his legs.
Oh yeah.
So the police actually had a group of protesters and journalists on the other side that they had arrested, and they were waiting for the police cars. And they had put a yellow tape on the opposite side of the street and told everyone to stand behind it. This young man starts walking down the street, ignoring the police and mocking them, and they're telling him to get on the other side. And no one's doing anything at first. But then this one officer decides just to step out and shove him into the crowd. So he shoves him and then takes him away in the squad car.
Interesting. We've never discussed this picture, so I didn't know that. And not until this moment did I realize that he's on the other side of a yellow police tape as well. So interesting context that adds to this.
Amazing shot. Amazing shot.
Thank you.
All right. This image is from Muko. You've talked about this before, so but I have to share this with folks because as you can tell, this happened, I think inauguration night, right? This
Right.
man with a tie is a Trump supporter who got caught in the crossfire as police started to spray protesters with pepper spray. And I guess the protesters came to his aid to help him flush the thing. But there's so many great elements of this image that I like. Muko, tell us again how this came about.
Yeah, so I saw this guy coming up. He looked really pretty colorful with, his, red, white, and blue colors. And he was all like dandied up. He was obviously coming from one of the Trump parties. And that was sort of the amazing thing about inauguration night is, there were people from all walks. There were protesters, there were people who were celebrating, and everybody's like kind of mixing in the streets. So he came up to K Street where the protest was going on in front of the Washington Post building. And there was a line of police holding the crowd at bay. This guy went right up to the front, completely clueless about anything, thinking I'm going to go and take a look. And as he went up there, the police sort of just let loose a spray of, tear gas into the crowd. So he got it straight in the face and he fell right down on his knees. Because if you've been sprayed with this stuff, you get even the gas, it's pretty bad. But if you get the liquid onto you, that it's really pretty devastating. So he was just completely incapacitated. So a bunch of protesters actually pulled him to the side, away from the police. And then two of the people started helping him. And this guy on the right, who's looking at him, you can see his face over there. He's telling him, hey, man, look, we're not all bad people, right? We're like helping you out over here. And this guy was like, I can't breathe. And the other folks are telling him, keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open, open your mouth, keep breathing. And they finally took care of him and took him out, from that panic state.
Yeah, one of my favorite pictures, one of my favorite stories, and just the baptism symbolism here and everything is really good job. Thanks for.
And it looks great in color.
Chris, always on the lookout for something funny.
True.
Tell us what happened here.
Oh, here, let me try my
Lama
video.
wasn't really giving an interview, right?
So yeah, I really enjoy finding humorous situations when I can manufacture them. So this was actually inauguration day at like 7:30, maybe 7:45 in the morning, I think. On 7th Street, where I managed to actually get through security to get on the mall, but this was on the way into that. And I saw this guy walking with a llama. And then I saw the Russian TV reporter there interviewing the guy. And I was like, man, I wonder if I can actually make it look like he's interviewing the llama. And, at that time was really sort of like when fake news started to enter our parlance, if you will. So to me, this was like, here's, the source of the fake news, and this is, this is the source is the llama. So it was sort of like a play on that. So, I just angled the camera to block out the guy that was actually getting interviewed. Part of me wonders if it would have been better if the focus was on the llama, but I was really just focusing on making sure you could read Russia there. But anyway, it came out pretty good. People really love this photo over in Eastern Europe.
And I guess this is an example as well of bringing sort of your street photographer sensibility to all types of events like this. This is like,
yeah, I think street photography has trained me well to look for things beyond what's being depicted in the frame. So like I said, I was, this picture for me is not about it's sort of a joke, but it's also, to me, it's a statement on fake news. So and I was able to do that by creating the illusion of this llama being interviewed by Russian TV.
I don't think Chantel is on the call, but I do want to bring her cover photo up real quick. I also, obviously have no idea what our cover photo is going to be this time around, because I haven't seen the images yet, and I'm not going to go into it with a preconceived notion. I mean, we went over like several different possibilities for a cover photo, but I finally settled on this one because this young kid with a WTF America hat and holding the American flag up just seemed to me to kind of illustrate sort of a little bit of everything we just went through over the 3 years. Chantel was in Georgia working down there for on the campaign. I don't think she's back. She was running a little late. So so that, that's the question, is I have no idea what the cover is going to be yet, right? Because I think the cover is going to have to really just play into whatever the narrative is. I'm hoping that there's some that it's not going to be an incredibly angry book, but that may be the story. I don't know. So we'll see what comes from that. I did talk about the open call, and one of the pictures I liked a lot from the open call is this one from Tatiana Gulenkina. There's just a lot of, and I know she's not on the call, but this to me was a great capture, right? I mean, just the sort of the eyes locking and sort of that. Honey, I'm on the call. Okay, what is up? This is my daughter, everybody.
Poppy?
Yeah.
Why is there only boys here? There must be a girl.
You're right. We need to find some girls, because girls can be photographers too, right? They're better photographers.
I'm not a boy.
And she makes a very good point. So let's see, what else did I pull before this? And what we're looking for humor. We're looking, it's not all serious. This photo always kind of cracked me up, just because of able to capture that moment of sort of this perplexed look and the "Not My President" hat on, and in the police sort of in the background. So yeah, I mean I think there's a lot of room for creativity, as we saw in some of these photos. Definitely some opportunities for drama, and I think that's the challenge I would put out to everybody on this call.